I was in that thing like, what, what. I was busting it down, like, period. I really felt like that one. I was like, yeah, like, you feel me? Yeah, like. Hey Kenzals, and welcome back to the channel. So just a little disclaimer, as you guys can already notice, I'm a little sick. As you can hear it, I'm a little congested, but the show must go on. So y'all know the deal, and as you can read from the title, I am telling y'all my first time on topping a guy. Yes, I topped a guy. So we're going to get right into the tea of that. Me and this guy, we would meet up and we would honestly have casual sex. Like, there's no other way to say it, but we would have casual sex. So as time will go on, we kind of got into it because I just kind of, like, I'm not the person, and I realize that now, I'm really not the person to have, like, one-night stands or just, like, be, like, F buddies with somebody. Like, I'm not that type of person. So me and him got into it, and he pretty much kind of went ghost on me. And I was in my head like, wait a minute. Because I was doing my part. I was twisting, sucking, pulling, bopping, and the whole thing. Like, girl, I was in that thing. I was doing my part. I was throwing it back. And he really just went ghost on me. And I was really hurt. And it really, really had made me feel like my goodies was hella dry. It made me really feel like I was not that one. Like, I felt like a Sahara Desert over here. And I thought that I was Niagara Falls. That's just the tea of it. I was really thought it was, she got that wet. Like, that's just what I thought. And he went ghost. So I was devastated, girl. But then, as time went on, he hit me back up and we linked back up. So I'm like, oh, it wasn't too dry. Period. Wet over here. So I'm like, what's up? Like, but I'm still trying to play hard to get. I'm like, what do you want? Like, and he's like, don't do all of that. Like, when we link up, I kind of want to try something different. And I'm like, what you mean different? And he's like, because usually and I want you to be the top this time, pretty much. And I'm like, what? But I was like, okay, mama didn't raise no punk. I was like, period and period again. So I was like, we link up. The day comes and me and him, like, mind you though, I'm nervous. Like, I'm hella nervous because I had never done that. Like, I'm a bottom. So if you don't know, like, it's like in the gay community, we have roles. Like, a bottom is like pretty much where you take penis. A top is where you give it. And a verse is where, like, you can take it, but then at times you could give it. Like, you kind of like, you're not restricted to one role. And for me, I'm restricted to one role. Bottom. So as time will go on, I'm like getting nervous and nervous. He's like, all right, get dressed. This is snap. Like, we about to link up soon. So I'm freaking out. So I call my best friend. Hey, bestie girl. And I'm like, best friend, like, what do I do? Like, this boy wants me to top him. Like, I've never stuck my penis in anything. I'm so scared. And she's like, I don't know. So I'm like, girl, like, so I was like, I got it. I'm about to go to Bevmo. I'm about to get me a little shot of tequila, Henny, or something. So I get to Bevmo and I go, give me a little shot, girl. I'm like, oh my God, period. I chug it. And I'm like, okay, so I start. But then I was like, that ain't enough. So I go get another one and I chug it. At that point, I'm like, okay, now. I was really like, at that point, relaxed. I'm like, I can do this. I can do this. So I start to, put my shoulders back. Look, I even start to deepen the, what's up? Like, I'm like, I got it. I got it. Today I'm on top and I'm about to play the role. So I pull up and I go where we were supposed to go. Because mind you, we were real kinky. We were, public places. That was our thing. And we were in the car though. I wasn't acting like no squirrel on a tree. But so he get in my car and we chilling. And as he gets in my car, I'm like freaking out. But, I got the Henny or whatever and I'm chilling. And he's like, come here. So we start kissing and I'm like, ooh, like. So then as we kissing and stuff, I'm really like in my head, I'm trying to act like I'm okay. But I'm freaking out because I'm like, I've never done this before. Like, what do I do? So I'm literally sitting there and I'm like, oh, Kenrick, you came back out now. Like, oh my God. So at that point, I really start to go for it. I like slowly, eased my way in. And, at that point, I'm really whopping it down. Like, whop, whop, whop. Like, I'm in that thing, like, period. And y'all, as I'm pumping his guts full of lead, I'm literally like, wait, hold on. Because I'm in that thing. Like I said, I'm in this thing like, whop, 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 busting it down. But I'm like, I started to smell something. And I was like, what is that? Girl, girl, girl. I must have looked down. I was like, and I pulled out. When I tell you, there was human feces on my shapeater. I was very upset because I looked and I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And that was why we honestly stopped. Because I was like, yeah. Like, it's bad. Because you have to know how to clean yourself and stuff like that for things like that. Personally, like, with a lot of gays that I know, like, you don't really eat as much all day. And, you drink water and stuff like that, but you don't really eat as much all day. And you don't you don't do that, and you have to clean yourself, like dushing and all the other stuff. So I was very, very disgusted when I smelled something at first, because I'm like, we at the marina, I'm thinking it's the squirrels up there like doing their thing and they didn't let a few little droplets go. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But as I keep pumping, I'm smelling like farts. And I'm like, so when I look down and I see that there is little Reese's cut pieces on my shapeater, I'm like, girl, I know you lying. So I really was just like, mm-mm. And he was so embarrassed. Like, I didn't make him feel bad about it, though. Because I was like, I mean, you're a top or whatever, so you don't really do this. But I still was like, you should have researched. You should have did something. Like, because the fact that now I'm looking down and I have boo-boo chunks on my penis, I am very upset. And it was just nasty. Like, so as, like, at the end, I didn't make it feel too bad. It was whatever. But I really did feel gross. Because it was just like, so then you know me. Any of y'all, if y'all know y'all got friends or whatever, you get on the phone and you call your friends. And I'm like, girl, what's tea? So I'm telling her, like, I'm calling my best friend first, obviously. And I'm like, best friend. Like, because it was a pleasant experience. Like, it was cool. It felt cool. Like, so it wasn't nothing that I was like, ill too much about. But it just was like, the fact that that happened disgusted me. But overall, I was like, I'm a man now. Like, I really just busted down. Like, I really was like, yeah, I wanted to be like, go make my breakfast. But we sitting in the wilderness, so how he gonna do that? But at that point, I mean, I definitely feel like it was a cool experience. And would I do it again? Because I always would be like, no, like, I'm about him. I'm not with that. But I definitely feel like after experiencing that, it was like, I don't feel like nothing's wrong with it. And would I do it again? Absolutely. So, yeah. And it was just, like I said, it was cool. But I will honestly tell people, like, stay safe, wrap up, always use condoms and stuff. But if you're going to do that and you know that you're about to play the role of a bottom and be penetrated, like, clean yourself. If you don't know how to clean yourself, YouTube it. Ask a gay friend. Something, like, because I didn't know at first. Like, you're young, and plus, I don't really have that many gay family members. So I was like, how do I do this? And I remember I had asked one of my coworkers that I used to work with, and I was like, girl, I was like, how do you do this? We literally YouTubed it together. It was like finding ways to properly clean yourself. And once I got the hang of it, it was like that. I've never done that. So I just would say, like, don't show up nasty, because then it's embarrassing to you. It's embarrassing to that person. And it's just really like, it just kind of kills the mood. Because it's like, I was really trying to, finish busting that down. And it just smelled like a whole bunch of cheese balls, eggs, and onions. So I was really like, I have to go. But that was my story time or whatever of the time that I topped a guy. It was decent and horrific at the same time. You know, it was decent because I walked out feeling like, yeah, did I mean that? And, you know, but it was horrific because I ended up having like boo-boo chunks laying on my pee-wee. So that's just that. But I would just tell y'all though, like, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe.